Morning, all. Welcome to today's preview. We've got 9 games in the NHL tonight, so after a long night last night and not enough sleep, we're getting back into it today. I'm not worried about not getting enough sleep. As long as I get enough tonight, then I'll be fine. I used to not sleep enough. That was my standard way of being. I used to get, before I met my wife, I was averaging 5 hours of sleep a night. It doesn't feel good, and you don't realize how bad you feel until you start getting full nights of sleep, and you're like, wow, what a difference. So, sleep's important, kids. All right. With that PSA, the more you know. Okay, with that aside, let's go ahead and get into it. The Boston Bruins get back to it tonight at home against the San Jose Sharks. This game starts at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. I would have an Akbar magnet on the board, but it's the Sharks. Boston should not have a problem getting up for the Sharks. The Sharks' record, to me, definitely is not indicative of how good this team is, and I don't know how else to put it. I just don't. The Sharks are 4-7-1. Boston's 8-1-2. And how did they get there? Well, over the last 5, San Jose lost to Buffalo 4-3, and they enjoyed that score so much they did it again in Buffalo 4-3. They won at Montreal 4-2. They lost at Toronto 4-1, and they lost at Ottawa 5-2. So, wow. It's been a bad road trip for them. They're having the kind of road trip through the East Coast that Vancouver had last year. Over their last 10, they are 4-5-1. Boston, in their last 5, versus Tampa, they lost 4-3. At Toronto, they lost 4-3 as well. So they enjoyed that score. Versus Toronto, they won 4-2. At home against St. Louis, they won 3-0. And at the New York Rangers, they won 7-4. Sloppy game at the end, but I'll forgive them. Over their last 10, they're 7-1-2. So they're playing pretty well. Their next meeting is March 21st in San Jose. So this is the first of 2 meetings this year. Over their last 5 games, Timo Meier has a goal and an assist with 10 shots. Logan Couture, 3 assists, 9 shots. Marcus Sorensen, 1 goal, 1 assist. He has 4 shots. Brent Burns, 5 assists and 11 shots. Their goaltending over their last 5 games. Jones, an 0-2-1 record, 3.60 goals against, 878 save percentage, and Aaron Dell is 1-1 with also a 3.6 goals against and an 898 save percentage. So, yeah, it's been kind of tricky for them. On the Boston side, Brad Marchand, 3 goals, 8 assists, 19 shots in their last 5 games. Pastrnak, 5 goals, 8 assists, 13 points, and 16 shots in their last 5 games. He's playing pretty well. That would be good stats over 10 games. Danton Heinen, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 7 shots over their last 5 games. Torrey Krug has 4 assists and 11 shots. Tuukka Rask. It just shows I was tired last night when I put these on the board. This is why I knew I should have done it the night before. But Tuukka Rask is 2-0-1, 1.62 goals against, average 946 save percentage. Jaro Halak had 1 bad game in there. He's 1-0-1 over their last 5 with a 3.87 goals against and an 862 save percentage. So yeah, should be an interesting one. Moving along. The Washington Capitals in against the Toronto Maple Leafs, who get Travis Dermott back tonight. And if you read the media, there's a lot of talk about Dermott coming back, which leads to a lot of joking around by people. But I'm going to say this. Dermott's going to make a difference, just like when Hyman returns, it's going to make a difference. And Toronto, for all the complaining and hand-wringing that's going on, they're not in a dangerous position yet. They're still above 500. They're 6-5-2. The Capitals are 8-2-3. Over their last 5, the Capitals beat the Rangers 5-2. That was at home. Then they went to Chicago, won 5-3. They won at Calgary, 5-3. They lost at Edmonton 4-3. That one says at Washington. Should say at Vancouver. They won that one 6-5. Dear Lord. That's just, there's so much wrong with that, I have to change it. But yeah, they won at Vancouver 6-5. I'm going to make it a different color too, just for triggering purposes. At Vancouver, they won 6-5, that of course being in a shootout. And over their last 10, they're 6-2-2. On the Toronto side, versus Boston, they won 4-3. Versus Columbus, they lost 4-3 at Boston. They lost 4-2. Versus San Jose, they won 4-1, and then of course at Montreal on Saturday they lost 5-2. Their last 10, they're 4-5-1. They have to pick it up, but again, I'm not in the panic mode that a lot of people are. Their next meeting is March 31st in Washington. As for people saying that there's concern that Toronto's too soft, well, yeah, that's been going on for years, and Kyle Dubas and Mike Babcock will tell you that doesn't matter. That's not important. It literally seems to be how they feel about it. So yeah, their next meeting's March 31st. This is a really good test for whether or not Toronto's going to be able to turn things around. Ovechkin, 4 goals, 2 assists, 28 shots for the last 5 games. 28 shots in 5 games. It's not too bad there, Ovi. Vrana, 1 goal, 2 assists, 14 shots. Lars Eller, 2 goals, 3 assists, and 10 shots. John Carlson, 2 goals, 5 assists, and 10 shots. Give the man a Norris Trophy. Goaltending over their last 5 games. Holtby, 3-0-1 with a 2.98 goals against, 918. Save percentage. Samsonov has the 1 win, 4.62 goals against, 853 save percentage. On the Toronto side, Matthews, 2 goals, 3 assists, and 18 shots in 5 games. Marner has 6 assists and 12 shots in 5 games. Nylander, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 7 shots. Tyson Barrie. You want to get into a Toronto Maple Leaf that needs to pick it up. It's Barrie. He has no points and 14 shots. The 14 shots means the effort's there, but the 0 points, that's concerning. On the goaltending front, Freddie Anderson, 2-0-1 over their last 5 games with a 2.58 goals against, 921 save percentage. And Hutchinson's 0-2, 4.54 goals against, average 883 save percentage. So there you go. It's all Hutchinson's fault. I'll just leave it at that. Next up, Philly. They're in against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Flyers are 5-4-1, so I don't need to talk about their last 10 games. They've only played 10. Pittsburgh 7-5. On the Philadelphia side of things, their last 5 games versus Dallas, they lost 4-1. Versus Vegas, they won 6-2. At Chicago, they won 4-1. Versus Columbus, 7-4. Everything was coming up great, and then they went to the New York Islanders and lost 5-3. So tonight's going to be an interesting test. On the Pittsburgh side, they were at home against Dallas. They won 4-2. Versus Vegas, they lost 3-0. So see, they are opposites there. At Florida, they lost 4-2. At Tampa, they lost 3-2. At Dallas, they won 3-0. So these teams are in similar spots. Over their last 10, Pittsburgh 6-4. So the record of their last 10 is virtually identical to that of the Philadelphia Flyers. Their next meeting is January 21st in Philly. This feud has a way of being kind of hotly contested, so we'll see if that happens tonight. Voracek, 2 goals, 4 assists, and 8 shots in the last 5 games. Travis Konechny, 3 goals, 3 assists, 11 shots. Kevin Hayes, 3 goals, 3 assists, 14 shots. Travis Sanheim, 3 assists and 7 shots. Goaltending, it's gonna... Carter Hart's 0-2 with a 5.45 goals against at a 7.24 save percentage. 7.24. While Elliott is 3-0-0 with a 2.01 goals against and a 9.33 save percentage. So you can't make the argument, well, it's the defense, because one goalie's doing really well and the other one's numbers are not very good. On the Pittsburgh side, Crosby with 2 assists in their last 5 games. He has 9 shots. Hornqvist, 2 goals and 3 assists, 19 shots. And Brandon Tanev, 2 goals, 6 shots over their last 5 games. Letang has 2 goals and 14 shots. Matt Murray is 2-1 with a 1.67 goals against, 929 save percentage. And Jari is 0-2, but he has a 2.03 goals against average and a 943 save percentage. So, pretty decent run there for their goaltenders, and we'll see whether or not the scoring helps them out. Moving along. Calgary in against Carolina, and we're still in games that are 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, so it's going to be a busy start to the night. Calgary 6-5-2. The Carolina Hurricanes are 7-3-1. On the Calgary side, of course, over their last 5, at LA, they lost 4-1. At Anaheim, they won 2-1. At home against Washington, they lost 5-3. Versus Florida, they won 6-5. And then at Winnipeg, they lost 2-1. Of course, that was at Regina. That's why there's an asterisk there, because I know it wasn't actually in Winnipeg. On the Carolina side of things, at Los Angeles, they won 2-0. At San Jose, they lost 5-2. At Anaheim, they lost 4-2. Then they lost at Columbus 4-3. And then at home against Chicago, they won 4-0. So that was a very important victory. And tonight against Calgary is going to be a very interesting test for both teams. Carolina trying to, maintain that excellent record. And for Calgary trying to get back to having that excellent record that they had last year. Their last 10, 5-4-1 record for the Flames, 6-3-1 record for Carolina. Their next meeting is December 14th in Calgary. Over their last 5 games, Johnny Gaudreau, 3 assists, 14 shots. Sean Monahan, 2 assists and 11 shots. Milan Lucic also has 2 assists and 7 shots. So when Lucic has the same amount of goals as Gaudreau and Monahan over the last 5 games, Giordano, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 7 shots over his last 5 games. David Riddick, 1-1-1 over their last 5 with a 3.93 goals against and an 885 save percentage. Cam Talbot's 1-1 with a 2.17 goals against and a 925 save percentage. On the Carolina side, Sebastian Aho, 2 goals, 3 assists, 10 shots in those games. Stahl, 1 goal, and 9 shots. Ryan Dzingel, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 8 shots for him. Dougie Hamilton, 2 goals, 2 assists, and 15 shots. Peter Mrazek is 2-1-1 with a 2.29 goals against, 925 save percentage. James Reimer's 0-1, 2.7 goals against, and an 857 save percentage in their last 5 games. Now, I have to change boards. Okay, so the Tampa Bay Lightning are 5-3-2. The Rangers are 3-5-1. One team's played 10 games, one played less than 10, so I don't need to talk about their last 10 games. Tampa Bay seems to be rounding into form. They're getting there. They had a hiccup along the way. So at Montreal, they won 3-1. At Boston, they won 4-3, and that's where, for me, they got better. However, at home against Colorado, they lost 6-2. Then they beat Pittsburgh 3-2, and then they lost to Nashville 3-2 in overtime. The overall results, I think, are starting to get better. We'll see if that continues tonight. If they lose this one at the Rangers, all bets are off kind of thing for now. I would be very surprised if Tampa doesn't at least have home ice advantage in the playoffs. On the Rangers side of things, to get to 3-5-1, part of what has helped them get to that record, their last 5 games. At Washington, they lost 5-2. Versus Vancouver, they lost 3-2. Versus Anaheim, they lost 3-2. Then they beat Buffalo 6-2. And then at home against Boston, they lost 7-4. So during this homestand, which has now reached 5, they've won 1 of the first 4. So that's not good enough. And I don't think that they would try to tell you that it is. The next meeting these teams have is November 14th in Tampa. So Rangers need to start putting some wins together here. Last 5 games, Stamkos, 2 goals, 3 assists, and 16 shots. Nikita Kucherov, 4 assists, 17 shots. Braden Point, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 11 shots. Victor Hedman, 2 goals, 3 assists, and 10 shots. Andrei Vasilevsky is 3-1 in their last 5 games, I should say. 2.95 goals against, 910 save percentage. Curtis McElhinney's 0-1, 2.86 goals against, 925 save percentage. Notice, McElhinney has the better goals against and save percentage, and yet the win-loss record belongs to Vasilevsky. And if we put this over the full season so far, the first 10 games, it looks like McElhinney doesn't get the goal support that Vasilevsky gets. On the Rangers side of things, Panarin, 3 goals, 2 assists, 13 shots. Kaapo Kakko, 1 assist and 7 shots. And there's some real talk about bumping him down the lineup kind of thing. Brendan Lemieux, 2 assists and 6 shots. Anthony DeAngelo, 3 goals, 3 assists, 10 shots. Lundqvist is 1-2 with a 3.59 goals against, 907 save percentage in their last 5 games. Georgiev's 0-1-1 with a 3.7 goals against and an 891 save percentage. So there's some numbers there they're going to have to clean up if they're going to get back into the race, which of course is early. Speaking of early, the Oilers 8-3-1. This game starts at 4:30 Pacific, as does this one. So half an hour after I've got the 4 games up, I've got another 2. This is why I now have 3 easels to put boards on. I can have 3 boards going at once. So the Oilers are in against the Red Wings. The Oilers 8-3-1. The Red Wings 3-8-1. It's a good test for Edmonton as to whether or not they can avoid getting further into a slump. And they're in a slump. In their last 5, at home against Detroit, they won 2-1. That was a close game. At Winnipeg, they lost 1-0. At Minnesota, they lost 3-0. Versus Washington, they won 4-3. But then versus Florida, they lost 6-2. So this is overall going to be an interesting test for them. On the Detroit side, it's been all losses. At Edmonton, 2-1. Versus Vancouver, 5-2. At Ottawa, 5-2. Versus Buffalo, 2-0, and versus St. Louis, heartbreakingly 5-4. It does feel like they're coming out of it, but over their last 10, the Oilers are 6-3-1, and the Red Wings are 1-8-1. But again, the Oilers have been held to 6 goals over their last 4 games, and in their 3 losses, they've had a grand total of 2 goals. So there are some cracks that seem to be showing. This is the last meeting these teams will have this season, so we'll see if any kind of fisticuffs occur, because these guys played each other not that long ago. Familiarity breeds contempt in the sports world. But yeah, this will be interesting. Over their last 5 games, Connor McDavid, 1 goal, 3 assists, 18 shots. He has slowed down. Draisaitl, 3 goals, 3 assists, 15 shots. Surprisingly enough, Draisaitl putting up more points. James Neal, 2 goals and 1 assist, 13 shots. Clefbaum has no points, 15 shots. On the goaltending side, Smith, 0-2-1 with a 2.43 goals against, 909 save percentage. Mikko Koskinen's 2-0 with a 2.28 goals against, 913 save percentage. On the Detroit side, Dylan Larkin, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 20 shots. Mantha also has 1 goal, 1 assist, and 20 shots. Jacob Delarose, 1 assist and 3 shots in 5 games. Philip Hronik, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 13 shots. On the goaltending side, Bernier, 0-2-1, 3.69 goals against, 883 save percentage. Howard, 0-2 with a 3.13 goals against, 908 save percentage. And yeah, this is one of those ones Detroit needs. Again, I would put an Akbar Magnet into this game, but I don't consider... How do I put this? The Oilers are off to a great start. I'm not throwing them in contender category yet. Yes, they've been high on the power rankings. That's great. Over a 7-game series, they need more depth scoring to have any chance. So if they made the playoffs as they're playing currently, I don't think they'd make it through a round, because of the fact that depth scoring isn't really there. You just need somebody who can shut down that first line, which, as daunting as that is, you just need to do it 4 games out of 7, and then you're in the next round. So, all right, moving along. Chicago and Nashville. I try to keep these shorter than the reviews, so I'm always looking at the time and going, don't want this to be too long. Chicago's 3-5-2, so they've only played 10 games. Nashville's 7-3-1. They've played 11 games, so I can still do over their last 10. In their last 5, Chicago versus Washington lost 5-3. Versus Vegas lost 2-1. Versus Philly lost 4-1. At Carolina lost 4-0. And then versus LA won 5-0. So at home they are 5-1. They beat LA 5-1. Now they go to Nashville. This is a good test to see if Chicago can turn this around or if this is going to get worse. Because again, until the LA game, they were showing a severe lack of scoring overall. On the Nashville side of things, at Arizona they lost 5-2. Versus Florida they lost 3-2. At Anaheim they won 6-1. Versus Anaheim they won 6-1. Versus Minnesota they won 4-0, and then at Tampa they won 3-2. So it's been a nice run for them. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. The next meeting these teams have is November 16th in Nashville. So that's going to be a big one. And everything for Chicago right now feels kind of big, because it feels like they're on the precipice between, getting back into the race or, oh God, what are we going to have to do? Over their last 5 games, Jonathan Taves, no points, 8 shots. Kane, 1 goal, 1 assist, and 16 shots. Strome, 2 goals, 2 assists, and 9 shots. Duncan Keith, no points, 7 shots for him. Robin Leonard's 1-1-1 with a 1.95 goals against, 938 save percentage. Corey Crawford's 0-2, 4.07 goals against, 867 save percentage. So that's got to come up. On the Nashville side, Arvidsson's 1-2-3, or 1-2-3. See, I get into the goaltending thing. I just keep going. Yeah, Victor Arvidsson, he's totally a goalie. Goal and 2 assists for Arvidsson, 10 shots. Matt Duchene, 2 assists and 5 shots. Colton Sissons, 2 goals, 2 assists, 5 shots. Ellis, 1 goal, 5 assists, and 10 shots. Now we're back to the goaltenders. Pekka Rinne, 2-0-1, 0.97 goals against, 964 save percentage. UC Saros, 1-1, 2.93 goals against, 902 save percentage for him. So this could be a goaltending battle tonight between Chicago and Nashville. And we'll just have to see how things go from there. But I do like Nashville's chances, to be honest. I do. I think they have a good shot. Next up, Minnesota in against Dallas. This has officially become the longest preview I think I've done all year. Minnesota's 4-7. Dallas is 4-8-1. So yeah, get your PVR ready. Get her ready, because this should be a barn burner. No. Over their last 10, they're similar records too. Minnesota's 4-6. Dallas is 4-5-1. They keep playing one game below 500 every 10 games. They'll miss the playoffs anyways. At Montreal, the Minnesota Wild lost 4-0. Then they played at home against Montreal. They won that one 4-3. Versus Edmonton, they won 3-0. At Nashville, they lost 4-0. And then versus LA, they won 5-1. Kings aren't having a good week. On the Dallas side of things, at Pittsburgh, they lost 4-2. At Philadelphia, they won 4-1. Versus Ottawa, they won 2-1. Versus Anaheim, they also won that one 2-1. And then at home against Pittsburgh, they lost 3-0. So there are scoring problems with Dallas. Yada, yada, yada. You guys all know this. Their next meeting is December 1st in Minnesota. Like I said, you guys know this because every time I talk about Dallas, I talk about scoring. Over their last 5 games, Eric Stahl, 3 goals, 2 assists, and 13 shots. Zach Parise, 1 goal, 9 shots. Mikko Koivu, 1 goal, 2 assists, 13 shots. Matt Dumba, 4 assists and 7 shots. Devin Dubnyk, two wins for him, 2.2 goals against, average 929 save percentage. He's supposed to be good to go tonight. Stalock, 1 win, 2 losses, 2.48 goals against, 911 save percentage. On the Dallas side, Radulov, 0 points and 9 shots. We need to have Radulov scoring a little more. Pavelski, 1 goal and 6 shots, and Gurianov, 2 goals, 1 assist, 13 shots. He's been one of the most dangerous forwards for Dallas, which is praise for him. And it's not saying much for some of the other players you expect more scoring from. Klingberg, 1 goal, 1 assist, 13 shots. Goaltenders, Bishop's 2-1 with a 1.35 goals against, 938 save percentage. Anton Hudobin's 1-1, 2.02 goals against, 923 save percentage. So their goaltenders have saved around 93% of the shots they've faced over their last 5 games. And they're 3-2 over those last 5 games. That sucks. You're supposed to be, a little better than that. It's just, yeah. We'll see how things turn out tonight. Now I need to change the board one more time. And for the last game of the day, we are up to Winnipeg and Anaheim. This game starts at 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. So it's good and separated from everything else. It's going to be a crazy night. Winnipeg is 6-6. Anaheim 7-6. This is a matchup between a team that has completely blown that early fast start they were off to against a team that has been mediocre all year. And they're trying to break out of that. We'll see if they can. Over their last 5 versus Arizona, they lost 4-2. This is Winnipeg. Versus the Islanders, they lost 3-1. Versus Edmonton, they won 1-0. At home against LA, they lost 3-2. And then the home game against Calgary, which was in in Regina, they won 2-1. That homestand was a disaster. Absolute disaster. So while they're 5-5 in their last 10 and 6-6 overall, that homestand was a disaster. Now, Anaheim, they were versus Calgary. They lost 2-1. At Nashville, they lost 6-1. At Dallas, they lost 2-1. At Colorado, they won 4-2. And then they went to Vegas and went, hey, what are we doing? We're tanking. And then they remembered that and they lost 5-2. Over their last 10, they're 4-6. So this is an alarming trend for the Anaheim Ducks. The next meeting these teams have will be November 29th, which is also in Anaheim. Over their last 5 games, Scheifele, 1 goal, 2 assists, and 16 shots. Blake Wheeler, no points and 20 shots, and he's been very visibly frustrated over this losing streak. Laine, 2 assists, 13 shots for him. Pionk, 3 assists and 8 shots. So if I told you Pionk was outscoring Laine and Wheeler over this kind of a period, people are like, come on, that's just because you like that Pionk kid. Well, it's kind of a little bit of that, and then just, Wheeler's no points is alarming, because I don't know that happened last year. Wheeler was a very consistent threat last year. And Hellebuck's played every game. He's 2-3, 1.98 goals against, 937 save percentage. So I mentioned with Dallas, saving 93% of your shots and only winning 3 out of 5 is alarming. Saving 93.7% of your shots and winning 2 games is more alarming. So, yeah, for Hellebuck, this is a tough time. He has to feel like he can't allow anything. On the Anaheim side, Getzlaf has 3 goals, 17 shots. Raquel, 1 assist and 8 shots. Henrique, 2 goals, 6 shots. Cam Fowler has no points and 10 shots. I'm surprised with Fowler having no points. He is prominent when he's out there. Gibson's 0-4, 3.59 goals against, 897 save percentage. Ryan Miller won the only game he started. He has a 3.00 goals against in that game and a 917 save percentage. So, yeah, Anaheim's got to turn this around. They got to turn it around now. There you go. You guys are all set up for tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I'll talk to you again soon.